Okay. Okay, it's starting.
Okay. So we were just talking about how to start off a video without acting and without also giving away or withholding too much information.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, you were maintaining that we should not, or that we should act, and that we should try to ignore the fact that there's a camera over there filming us. And I was saying that perhaps we should acknowledge the fact that there's a camera there, because it would be more of a conversation rather than being like trying to be some way specifically for the camera.
Well, yeah, we should be honest about what we're doing, but I was just saying that you first originally said, well, it's not act, but we kind of have to in order to discuss what we need to portray to my professor. Like the fact that I did my video wrong, and now here we sit doing a retake of my assignment on the due date.
That's very expository of you. I was going to wait on getting to that. That's the meat of it, you know. That's the first 30 seconds is the intro right here. But okay, fair enough. Let's talk about the fact that that apparently you did the wrong video, and I've seen the other video that you did, and there was very little of real importance that got discussed during that time. So in the spirit of acting, why don't you tell me what went wrong there?
Okay. Well, Anissa and I began a video just having an everyday conversation, and like you saw, we weren't talking about anything important, but I misinterpreted what the assignment was, and late last night, it looks like it flashed red at me. I don't think it did. But late last night, I looked at the video and going to write my reflection for it. And I'm like, wait, what do I include in my reflection? What specifically do I have to say? So I look on the syllabus, and it says how I should be talking about something important in my video. And
something in which you're emotionally involved, at least a little bit.
Well, yeah, something that's important to me in my video. And I mean, although Anissa and her life is important to me, it's not specifically, I think, what my professor is looking for on the assignment.
There's not much to be gleaned in terms of communication skill there. Which incidentally, it sounds like a breakdown in communication, the fact that you weren't aware of the proper parameters for the assignment.
Yep.
But that's neither here nor there.
I think it is kind of here.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so basically, it sounds like we're kind of playing catch up for the video, and we're discussing something hopefully that's relatively important, i.e., the grade that you get.
Definitely. I really hope that I get a good grade.
I mean, you could also play the card that you may be interested in learning to be a better communicator, and that the final product of this is important to you as well. The grade's also good.
Yeah.
So, if I remember correctly, we also, when you came to me with your problem, we also disagreed on what it was we were supposed to send off to your professor.
What do you mean?
Email. Like, if I remember correctly, there was an email that got half written and then not sent because we were at odds in terms of
yes, because the content of our video would have probably not gone very good with me sending an email to my professor before class.
But our reasons for not sending it were pretty interesting. Do you remember the actual discussion that happened right before we decided not to?
You want to remind me?
All right. Apparently, it's going to be very expository here. Well, I suggested that if the content of the email hadn't been written and sent already, that it would be kind of a point of friction because in the conversation, which might lead to interesting discoveries and information and data points, because you and I were debating as to whether or not and to what degree to lie to your professor about the state of the video and the reasons that it was turned in late.
Yes. That is true.
And,
I'm guilty.
and so we were having a conversation about that, and it may not be necessary to point out which side was on which about what exactly to say and how honest to be.
Well, I'm just gonna say right now that I definitely was the one who was saying that I should be honest.
For sure.
Because it's my grade.
And well, so it's your grade. But my point would simply be that if your professor doesn't actually know, for instance, if you sent an email saying, "Hey, there was a formatting error and I couldn't get it on the USB jump drive."
But there was.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, that's the other part is that there was a size restriction on the email, and so of 25 megabytes, and so you were going to email it to your professor, but because you couldn't, then it became a throw it on YouTube and then send her the link situation, and then after that, you realized that the video itself was a problem.
Yeah. And so my whole entire project was basically screwed.
Right. But I'm just saying that because there was an actual problem with sending it, that there's no way for her to verify that you didn't actually have it done right, and that you'd have to redo it. You could just say, "Hey, my formats got screwed up. It's going to take me a second to do it in order to get the formats right and then send it to you," and then use the time that you said that you were going to fix the format, because you already know what to do with the format now, because we already fixed that problem.
Yeah.
To then make the video itself and then send it.
Yeah, but I still wouldn't have had my reflection written.
Yeah, okay, but that's going to be a problem no matter how you cut it. My point is simply that that it may be more likely that you'll get a little bit of leeway on lateness and getting point dockage if you imply or say that there was an actual problem that you could not have predicted that came up in terms of formatting.
Yeah.
And of course you could ham it up. I mean, I wouldn't just say that it wouldn't email, because that's a problem that anyone